Hello everyone, welcome to the, I couldn't wait to put this video out of the haul that I got for my library book sale. Now this year was a little bit different because, as some of you know, I and my mom was actually working at the book sale this year, putting out the thousands and thousands of books that they had amassed over this last year through donations from the community and also libraries from all around our area that may be too small or just don't have the room to do a book sale of their own. Now, as you can see, there were tons and tons and tons of books out. It was glorious to be surrounded by that many books, and it was only $1 per paperback and $2 for the hardcover. We could not wait to work opening day. We were slated to be helpers, helping people out, finding books and putting books back and organizing things and keeping things nice and neat, as people were coming through. And then I got the stomach flu. So that kind of put that plan to a huge halt. I actually have been sick from it for several days and I'm still kind of recovering from it. But I was assured that it went off great. There were plenty of volunteers still there that were able to work it. And it was a good crowd, so I'm sure everything went off without a hitch. It was just sad that we kind of didn't get to see the fruits of all our hard labor and kind of see, what other books people were buying. And now before we get to the actual book haul, let me just show you this really, really cute little apron that I picked up at a recent craft fair. Actually, it was a garden fair at the Exchange Place in Kingsport, Tennessee. If you live in the area and you've never been there for one of their fall fests or craft fairs or their Christmas get-togethers, wow, is it such a great place. And they always have really good vendors with quality items. Now, I'm not affiliated with this vendor. I purchased this with my own money. I do not make a commission on the sales. I just thought that it was super cute. I love the way she designed it. I love how she uses all the different fabrics. They're so cute together. And here is a list of places she's going to be if you're in this East Tennessee area or surrounding area. She does not sell online, so this is the only way you can get one. And now let's go ahead and look at what I bought and probably what I shouldn't have bought. I got a lot. It was really, really hard to pass up even what I did because there were so many hundreds and hundreds of cookbooks and other books that I was interested in. So let me show you what I've been holding on to until I can make this video, and then I'll organize it a little bit better, and then I'll show you book by book exactly what I found. And here is my haul. I should probably start rethinking my life choices here. I'm gonna have to slow myself down a little bit, but they were so cheap and so good looking. Okay, so let me unpack these, get them in some kind of order, and then I'm gonna show you so many treasures. Oh my gosh, look at all this. Might have overdone it a little bit, but when you see these cookbooks, you'll see why I couldn't say no. First, I thought we would start with the non-cookbooks, because if you live in our area, if you just watched my channel about it, you might think that cookbooks are all that we sell, but they literally have every subject under the sun, I think. I did get some little paperback mysteries that I've already put on my bookshelf, but these I thought were really cool. So we've got The Glitter and the Gold, the true story of Consuelo Vanderbilt Balson, a very well-to-do lady who married a well-to-do man in 1895. This sounds like it's going to be fascinating. We also have a biography of Agatha Christie. I thought that would be really good. Her life is really interesting. Here is something I had thought about, didn't get it, but then I saw it for $2 and I thought, why not? This is Agatha Christie, but written by Sophie Hannah in the style of Agatha Christie. So we're going to test this and see if we like it just as much. And then I got this beautiful coffee table book full of gorgeous pictures and information about all these beautiful ships. You know me and my ships. So had to get this, of course, and it only cost me $2. This is an absolute steal. And now what you've all been patiently waiting for, this giant stack of cookbooks. Let's go ahead and let's see. Well, let's just start with this one. Sunday Dinner in the South, $2. And look at how good everything in here looks. Of course, I'm a sucker for a good Southern cookbook. That's kind of the food I was raised on. It was basically our go-to recipes, some good Southern food. This looks really good, so cannot wait to try this. I think there's going to be some pretty spectacular recipes coming out of this one. This one I bought because I didn't know what it was. I did not know we had a tiny Smith Island off the eastern coast. And so I thought looking at this little vintage cookbook about it with their food would be really fascinating. And this one, I don't know, but the more I look at this one, the more I think this is a true treasure. 1963. The illustrations are so cute. I love the layout of this cookbook, and I love all the little illustrations just peppered throughout. All the recipes in here look really good, but it was actually the illustrations and the layout that really caught my eye. So I grabbed it, and then when I started really looking at it, I'm really glad that I did, because there's some really interesting things in here that I can't wait to try. I also thought this was actually really interesting. So apparently 2 mistakes were made in 2 separate recipes. This is the correction to those recipes. So instead of just throwing out the entire print run of cookbooks, which I'm glad they didn't, because you know I hate waste on that level, they instead just inserted the corrections in with the binding, and I just think that's really neat. Now this one, the dust jacket is missing, but I didn't mind that because these are actually going for a little bit of money on eBay. Diana Kennedy it has made multiple cookbooks on Mexico and Mexican cooking. She's lived there for a number of years and really studied the food. And when I saw this, I really wanted to grab it because I've never tried one of her cookbooks before. So this, I think, is going to be pretty fun. Now, I have heard some of reviews that said that her cookbooks tend to be kind of complicated. Maybe some of the ingredients are hard to find. But, you know, we'll test that out and see. It's still some good information, and we only paid $2 for it. So if we do find out that we can't use it, it's okay. I'll just donate it again. Now this one is kind of one of those put together cookbooks from the employees of an organization. I'll look into this a little bit more when we do a review on it and do a more in-depth look. But I grabbed it because the recipes looked really good, and I did like the layout of the cookbook. I think it's really, nice and neat. It looks good. It's very well organized, so it looks like something that we would turn back to make several dishes out of. And look at this little special cookbook. the Williamsburg Herb Cookbook. And yes, this is from Williamsburg in Virginia. 1975. I didn't know that there was a specific herb cookbook out. I do have a couple other Williamsburg cookbooks that we have looked at on the channel before. But I'm getting seriously into growing culinary herbs, so I thought it would be really fun to look to see how they were used in early American cooking. And look at this special one from the Biltmore Estate. Still has the little ribbon to it. It doesn't actually have the front page here. It got ripped out. I'm assuming it's because a lot of people write their names or inscriptions, and they just didn't want their address out there after they donated the cookbook, which I can understand that. That doesn't bother me, especially when I only paid $2 for it. And I've been to Biltmore several times. Their food is always good, and these recipes really don't look like they would disappoint. Ooh, especially that mint tea. That's something, when my mint starts coming in, we'll probably have to try that one. Speaking of herbs and me getting into culinary herbs, I bought this one for a couple dollars, and it just has a lot of information about each herb, which I thought was really cool. I like the layout of it. I like that they give you lots of pictures, and I especially like the fact that they include a lot of recipes so you know what to do with your herbs after you've grown them. This is packed full of recipes. It has chapters on herbal dyes, how to make your own herbal paper, which I think is totally cool, potpourri, ink, and then of course even lotions, shampoos, that kind of thing. So it's kind of all-encompassing herb book, which I really thought would be fun to look through and pull out this summer when we need to use up a lot of these herbs. Now this one I just grabbed on a lark because it's from East Tennessee State University. That's in Johnson City, Tennessee, which is not far away from me at all. And this is basically, people connected to that East Tennessee State University and their recipes. So you've got some professors in here, probably some past alumni. You've got a little bit of a synopsis of each person, and then the recipes looked really good. So I was really kind of intrigued by this cookbook. Kind of want to do a little bit of a deeper dive on it and make a couple of the dishes. I think it'd be really fun to see if they're as good as they look, because a lot of these are very interesting. Now this one I got because it's kind of kitschy and it has a gimmick to it, which I thought was really fun. I've actually never seen a cookbook like this. So basically, you just kind of flip, flip again, and you should have a complete meal. Now you can mix and match however you want, whatever sounds good to you. But I thought this was a really cute idea. And of course it does use a lot of brand names, so easy to find in the grocery store, probably fairly easy to put together. They look like they're not very complicated, so I thought this would be a really fun one to put on the channel and see if the gimmick actually works. Now this one I thought is a really good little treasure. What do you do with all that produce that you might have in your own garden, or when you get to that farmer's market and you just can't control yourself because everything looks so fresh and so good? Well, this cookbook is gonna have you covered. I think it's got a recipe for every vegetable, or at least that's what it looked like. So as our own garden starts coming in and that farmer's market starts rolling by, we're going to be able to pull this cookbook back out and see if the recipes are really good. And I'm a big sucker for something like country inns or great restaurants. And this was no exception. I saw it, grabbed it, and since it's paperback, it's only $1. So you get lots of really, really cool recipes and little bits of history from all kinds of different inns that were in America. This one was published in 1991, so I'm assuming not all of these inns are still in business, but it'd be fun to pick one and see if it's still going, because all these recipes look really good. So if you still get to eat there, I think that's a win. And look what I found. A subscriber recommended this cookbook to me a while ago. I'd had it on my wish list. I was looking at it and I was like, I need to, find this one. And look what I happened upon at the library book sale for just $2. So the subscriber said that this one was a great Amish cookbook full of really good, tasty recipes. So we will be pulling this one out, doing a deep dive on it and trying the recipes, because everything looks really good in here. Now, you know me and being a sucker for a good Betty Crocker cookbook. I think that's probably one of my favorite brands that make cookbooks, and this one promises you're going to be in the kitchen for 30 minutes or less. We have lots of recipes in here that should be very easy, should be family friendly, and really quick to put on the table. So things look really good. This isn't a vintage cookbook, but it's just kind of one of those that you might want to have in your arsenal for when you need to get dinner on the table fast. Now, these actually go together. This is a set 1 through 6. And when I noticed book 4, book 3, book 2, and I realized when I pulled this out of the box that this was an entire set, there's just something in me that could not put it back down, because I was very intrigued as to what was going on with this. Now, I don't actually know who these people are. I've never heard of these little cookbooks before, but it is vegan, vegetarian. Some of them are kind of old school recipes. Some of them I won't be able to do because it uses wheat gluten, which is something I can't eat. But there's plenty of other things in here that I can eat that look kind of interesting. So I kind of wanted to just try it and see, how good are they? They don't look like they've really ever been used. Maybe this one a little bit. But it does look good. It does look intriguing. So we're going to have this on the channel, and we're going to see if this was worth the $6 that I paid for the entire set. And back to Betty Crocker, look at this little beauty that I picked up. I think this is so adorable. There's no way I could have passed this one up. This reminds me of the little calendar cookbook that they had put out. It's kind of the same style, same types of illustrations, same layout. It is so cute. I absolutely love this cookbook. Now, we'll have to put this on the channel to see if we love the food, but we do love the pictures and we do love everything else about it. So it's still a really good buy in my book. All right, we're over halfway through, so we're almost there. This one is the Shoshone Cookbook, Vegetarian Recipes from an Actual Yoga Retreat, which that definitely caught my eye. I've not heard of the Shoshone yoga retreat, but I did notice that this cookbook, now I don't know if it was the exact same copy, but this one was there at the book sale last year and I didn't get it. So I saw it here this year and I thought, you know what, maybe that's a sign. I need to go ahead and get it because some of the recipes do sound really good, like these dressings. We have lots of different sauces that sound really good. So yeah, I think it'd be really fun to have this on the channel and cook like we're at a yoga retreat for a day and just see how good it is. And just to be a little bit different, I found this vintage German home cooking cookbook that I thought was really colorful and cute. First published in 1963, but you'll see this is the 1969 copy. It's actually laid out a little bit differently than what you normally see in cookbooks. I've never really done a whole lot of German cooking, so I thought this one might be a good place to start. We'll go a little bit vintage and then maybe go ahead and buy something a little bit more modern if we want to do a comparison. And now this one's a little bit of a treasure too. Fresh from the Garden Cookbook. You can kind of see I had a little bit of a theme this year with gardening and herbal cookbooks. Kind of got in a little bit of a rabbit hole on that one, but this one looked so cute. Love that it's got little illustrations. The recipes looked good, the layout was really cute. And of course, you know, the little cards in between and the cover really caught my eye. So just for $1, I think this is going to be a really good addition. And now, what has Virginia been hiding from us all these years? This cookbook promises to tell us. We've got some really good looking recipes in here. And there's that garden theme coming in. We've got a garden feast. I really like the layout of this cookbook too. Thought it was pretty cute. And the recipes seem like a lot of things that, you know, we would eat, enjoy, and probably turn back to. So I think this one's going to be really fun to look at too. Now, this one is just kind of, you know, it's not something you would make your meals out of, but it's basically just sauces to kind of elevate meals that you're already making, which I thought was pretty cool. All the recipes look good, and with 400 of them, I'm positive we're going to be able to find a sauce or a dip for basically every meal. So this one I thought would be fun. We'll just make a quick dinner and then see if we can't elevate that with a sauce and see if it really did make it better. This one, the colors caught my eye, the kind of psychedelic look to it. And of course, with a name like Smoky Mountain Magic, I mean, I live in the Smoky Mountains, so obviously a cookbook like this would really grab me. You can see here it was first printed in 1960, which you can tell, which is what I loved about it. This one is the 1983 edition, and I'm really glad they kept the original cover. But we have some really interesting recipes in here, like minted nuts. I think that sounds really cool. We've got all kinds of cookies and desserts. And then this was kind of my favorite chapter, East Tennessee favorites. So I thought that was kind of interesting thing to include. The rest of the recipes looked really good, so we will be having this on the channel to see what kind of magic we can make in the kitchen. Now I saved the more, or what I thought was the more interesting for the end here. This one, yes, this is by the cigarette company. I have their other cookbook, and I don't smoke, but I love the cookbooks. These were put out several years ago. I just really enjoy the pictures in them. I like the kind of, you know, little gimmicky things they have all throughout the cookbook. Everything looks fantastic. It doesn't look like there's a bad recipe in here. And I think they did a fantastic job. Whoever thought of the layout with these pictures did a fantastic job with, really making you want to eat, what's on here. So looks really savory, so inviting, and really rustic. I just love that look with the cast iron, and the tin cans even are really cute. So love this. Can't wait to try something out of this. We'll have to drag that other cookbook out too so we can review them both together. And guess what? Another herbs and spices cookbook. This one looked really interesting. It's kind of set up like the other one, where you get lots of information about, specific herbs, how to grow them yourself, and then you get into what are you going to do with all of those. I really enjoy these pictures. I, like this kind of rustic style. So it caught my eye. It looked really good. And it's got a lot of interesting things in here, like your salad dressings and your herb butters and all kinds of sauces. It just seems like a good all-around cookbook. So we will try this one out as soon as those herbs really start growing, and we will be ready. And now we have 3 left. This one, such a strange cookbook. That's actually what obviously caught my eye. This one is a vegetarian. It might be vegan. I'm not sure. I need to really, look at it closely to see. But you can see this is basically a handwritten cookbook done in 1971. The whole cookbook is actually handwritten with some pretty interesting illustrations going on that not quite sure what it kind of has to do with the actual recipes. I don't know if that was some kind of like I don't know, avant-garde something going on, but the recipes looked kind of out there and interesting. Thought it would be fun to really take a look at this and see, what's going on with this cookbook, and are the recipes any good. Now this one, you'll see here, retail on that was $59.95. Someone never even opened this. This is the original shrink wrap on it. I've kind of thought about not opening it, but then again, I kind of want to see what's inside. So let's go ahead and take this off and see what we get inside. Wow, okay, and right off the bat, we're getting into some pretty interesting cake recipes here, and some how-tos. So this one has got some really neat looking things in it. Looks like this really is an encyclopedia of cooking, and basically has almost everything you can imagine. Some of the things look better than others, not really sure what's going on there, but that stew looked pretty good. So I think we're gonna have some recipes in here that will be keepers. And now I saved the best, in my opinion, for last, and I will show you why. You're going to love these pictures. So we have America the Majestic, Pictorial Cookbook, and of course, I mean, you can't pass this up just from the cover and the name alone. Then when I opened it, I realized that this was something really different. Now, I thought this was kind of funny. This is all about, America the Majestic, and you can see there's lots of Americana themes in here, right? There's eagles, there's purple mountain majesties, there's all kinds of stuff going on here, but it was actually printed in Singapore. I thought that was kind of funny. Now you have each state represented by region. So, you know, Alaska's kind of up there on its own, and then you have New England that's, you know, kind of all encompassing. We've got some Cajun, we've got Tex-Mex, we've got California that got pulled out by itself, and we've even got the Heartland represented. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to like really show you this cookbook is for the pictures, and some of this just seems like really odd choices to me. You've got this gelatin, I'm not really sure what's inside there. You got some meat and mushrooms, but then you have, like, you know, an old Western style like, pistol just laying there. I'm not even sure what's sticking out of this rib roast, actually. I don't know if that's green beans or chives, maybe spring onions, I don't know. But you know, you've got a decoration there you could try at home. This one's actually my personal favorite. So you've got this, which is a turkey breast, and then for no reason you have just what was then a brand new Mac, just kind of sitting there. So I'm not really sure what's going on with this picture at all. Just seems like an odd, like, combination. Were they trying to say that, you know, America is very technologically advanced? I have no idea. But yeah, there's this going on. There's also this weird runway thing with a fishbowl, and some other glassware, with just some random food sitting on it. And one of my favorite parts of this cookbook is the fact that California is basically just Disney, right? Like, they couldn't come up with anything else as a theme for California, so they were just kind of like, yeah, just go with Disneyland, I guess. So yeah, there's just like Disney all over this for no reason. And then I thought this was a really odd choice, Dixie Sweets. Obviously that's Confederate. And I guess that's the only thing they could think of for the South. So I'm not really sure what was going on with this cookbook at all. I think it's hysterical. I love it. It's so kitschy. The pictures and kind of the themes they picked are so bad that it's actually good. So this kind of stood out as one of my favorite buys because I really just could not believe some of the themes they came up with. But we are going to definitely try the recipes on the channel. And we're going to really hope that the recipes are so much better than their actual photographs. Whew, so are you as tired as I am? And I have to put all of these away now. So I really hope you enjoyed that. That was a really good look through of everything I bought at the library book sale. And remember, the reason I do this is because I really want to showcase all the really, really great things that you can get for so cheap at your library book sales. I mean, I only paid $1 to $2 for everything. You can't get those kinds of prices anywhere. You just never know what kind of treasures that people are going to donate. There's a lot of estates that end up going and being, you know, donated to the library book sale. So we'll get like entire bookshelves of books that have to be sorted through. So you just never know, and I really implore you to call your local library and see if they have one, or they may know of a larger library in your area that will do one. So really hope you enjoyed that, and if you saw a cookbook in particular that you really want me to fast track on the channel, I will add it to our ever-growing list, but I promise we are making our way through it. So I will add that to the list and we will get on it. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out that library, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
And if you like historical cooking and unusual cookbooks, here's 2 more videos you might enjoy. And make sure to like and subscribe for more foodie adventures.